The stranger offered Martha 3 sacks of the finest flour she had ever seen. "Take them," he said. "No payment today." The whole market watched. And Martha quietly said, "No." Everyone laughed. Why would a struggling baker refuse free flour? In the autumn of 1934, in the quiet town of Ashbrook, 48-year-old Martha Ellison owned the smallest bakery on Willow Street. Every morning before sunrise, she lit her old brick oven and baked bread with careful hands. Her loaves were not the cheapest, but people said they tasted like home. Business had become difficult. A new bakery had opened near the train station with shiny windows, colorful signs, and prices so low that most customers stopped visiting Martha's little shop. Each week, fewer coins landed in her wooden cash box. Her younger assistant, Peter, worried every day. "We should lower our prices," he suggested. "We cannot sell bread for less than it costs to make," Martha replied. "That is not business. That is borrowing from tomorrow." One chilly morning, a wealthy grain merchant arrived in town. His wagons carried the finest flour anyone had seen. He stopped in front of Martha's bakery. "Take 3 sacks of flour. Pay me whenever you can." The crowd admired his generosity. Peter whispered, "This saves us." Martha studied the merchant's eyes. "What happens if I cannot pay?" she asked. The merchant smiled. "Then we will discuss another arrangement." The answer felt too smooth. She politely refused. The crowd shook their heads. Some called her proud. Others called her foolish. Peter nearly quit that afternoon. The following week became the hardest of Martha's life. She baked fewer loaves because she could only afford small amounts of flour. Many shelves stayed empty. She counted every dollar twice before buying even a handful of salt. Then something unexpected happened. An elderly miller named Samuel knocked on her back door. "I heard what happened," he said. Instead of lending flour, he would grind wheat brought by local farmers. The farmers would receive fresh bread each week, and Martha would receive steady flour at a fair price. No debt. No hidden contract. Only honest trade. Within months, something remarkable happened. Farmers began telling neighbors about the bakery that treated everyone fairly. Families liked knowing exactly where their bread came from. Customers returned. Meanwhile, the wealthy merchant expanded quickly. He had given flour to nearly every struggling baker. But those free sacks came with contracts many owners never fully understood. Soon, several bakeries could not repay what they owed. The merchant claimed their ovens, buildings, and businesses. People realized too late that the free flour had never truly been free. One winter evening, the merchant visited Martha again. "You made the wrong choice," he said. "You could have owned 3 shops by now." Martha smiled as she handed fresh bread to a young mother buying dinner. "I already own something more valuable." "And what is that?" "The ability to sleep peacefully." The merchant laughed and walked away. Years later, his business collapsed after too many shop owners failed to repay their debts. Without local trust, his empire disappeared almost as quickly as it had grown. Martha's bakery remained. It never became the largest. It never became the richest. But it survived wars, poor harvests, and changing times because it had something that could not be bought with borrowed money: trust. When Martha finally retired, Peter purchased the bakery using the savings he had built while working beside her. He kept the same old wooden sign above the door. Every loaf still carried the same simple promise: made honestly, Sometimes the cheapest offer becomes the most expensive decision. And sometimes the slow path builds the strongest future. To get more, like, comment, and share.